What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today we are going to be discussing the possibility of, well, I guess the meta possibility of the TEC 9. So the TEC 9 is going to be the new SMG that is going to be releasing with Season 3. A lot of people are kind of excited, and given the fact that a lot of people have been wanting this weapon to come out, and based on what we've seen so far of video footage, a lot of people are a little bit more, I guess, disappointed, I would say. Something that does happen every season, we do get kind of like a video introduction of the newest weapon. We got that for the Type 19, the weapon before that, the weapon before that, and of course the weapon before that. It's kind of something that normally happens like right before we get a major update. It kind of just serves to, I guess, show the player how it's actually going to perform, giving us, I guess, a small taste of what the attachments are, how I guess they perform, and you know what kind of different builds you could actually use. So these are the base stats for the TEC 9. So it does have 31 damage up close. In the second range it has 24 damage up to 20 meters, and then 21 damage up to 30 meters, and 16 damage up to 60 meters. Of course, given that it's like an SMG, obviously we can't really expect the best of stats ever. And that's one thing us as players kind of have to acknowledge. Not every weapon that comes out is always going to be the best weapon. This is not 2021, this is not 2020 anymore, where there's only the new weapon that reigns supreme. This time around, you know, around this time in this game, you know, there's going to be weapons that are obviously hit or miss. That's just something that we kind of have to accept. But based on how the stats are, this is meant to be a much more slower firing type of SMG. Something like maybe like GKS or Striker 45 related, where the damage is high but the fire rate is pretty low. But seeing how these are the base stats, it looks like the bullet speed, at least at its base form, is actually pretty good. It's 600 meters per second, something that not really a lot of SMGs have. If you look at the Mac 10, it has like, I think, 300 meters per second. I don't even think the Striker 45 goes up that high in its base form. But I have looked at the video preview, and it turns out that you could actually boost up the bullet speed up to 1080 meters per second. So again, for an SMG, that is actually pretty high. There's not a lot of bullet speed SMGs that could reach that amount. I did also look at the first damage range stats, because that's basically where the SMG is going to be at its strongest. What I did manage to see is that like it does boost up to 11 meters. But that's basically it so far. Maybe there's more attachments that can increase the range even further, but might not increase the bullet speed that well. But knowing that it's a Cold War gunsmith, I'm assuming that there's going to be a task force as well as I think a reinforced heavy barrel. The ones that I guess I would say are like probably the two most prominent ones with Black Ops attachments. So another question, I can't really tell because it's obviously in like, I think Mandarin or some sort of Chinese use text. I'm not really sure if this weapon's actually going to be a semi-auto or a full auto. From what I understand, in Black Ops Cold War, I think it was actually both. I think it initially started as a semi-auto, but then there was like a muzzle attachment or like a barrel attachment that turned it into a full auto. So if we do have that in this game, I'm not sure whether or not the stats are kind of going to change a little bit more. So maybe the range is going to be increased or it's going to be decreased depending on if you're using semi-auto or full auto. Or if anything, if we do have that type of attachment, maybe it'll make it full auto, but we no longer have to like just keep tapping on the trigger. But I just did research on the attachment, and I think it took place in the muzzle section. So if we are going to have the ability to use this in full auto, then we might not have the ability to use the weapon suppressed. I mean, keep in mind, most Black Ops attachments don't really come with integrated suppressors. If anything, they usually just have that light suppressor and the agency suppressor. So if you're going to run it semi-auto, then I suggest using agency suppressor. If not, then just use that muzzle attachment and try to find a barrel that at least has a good range increase. And I know a lot of people have been saying that this weapon might suck because, like, yeah, it has the ability to 3-shot, but it's not to the same degree as maybe the GKS or even the Striker 45. Those have some pretty good ranges. I think with the Striker 45, you could max it out to, I think, like maybe 20 meters. And I think with the GKS, you could do maybe a little bit more, but of course with the GKS, that's a hit scan weapon, so pretty much you hit the target immediately. Not only that, but the headshot multiplier isn't really that great as well. So you're not going to be able to two-shot to the head within the first range or anything like that. If anything, it only goes up to 37 damage. A lot of people think that the stats are actually bugged, which I'm not really that sure, but I mean, I don't know. Like, not all weapons could really perform the same. I mean, even the GKS, as strong as it is, as much range as it has, it doesn't have the two-shot ability. It almost does. I think it goes up to like 49, but the only three-tap type of SMG that has that ability to two-shot is only the Striker 45, but it's not at a very long range. Another thing we should probably take into account, the Hipfire. I mean, with Black Ops Cold War weapons, a little hard to really tell how good the Hipfire is going to be, especially when you have to do Hipfire challenges. But of course, they do have those lasers that help significantly, you know, the green and the red one. But for all we know, it could be complete garbage and there won't be any other way to increase the hipfire accuracy. But I don't know why in this game, when it comes to, I guess, slow firing weapons like the Man of War, Striker 45, for some reason, I don't know, maybe like they have like a good amount of like hipfire accuracy, probably maybe a little bit more than they should have. But yeah, some of those slow firing weapons do have some decent hipfire. Hopefully this is going to be one of them, so it won't make the hipfire challenges that hard. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like up in the air with that. Also, based on the video that I saw, it looks like the standard magazine is going to have maybe 30 rounds. I hope that's the case. So, because like, I mean, whenever a new weapon does come out, it is also part of the Alcatraz drop loot. And for the most part, a lot of the SMGs that we've been getting recently have always had like maybe 20 bullets. So they're never really that viable in Alcatraz. But hopefully this time around we get a more generous mag capacity, because I'm kind of just tired of just having 20 bullets or like fucking 10 in a mag for an SMG. So yeah, hopefully it's not like that, and hopefully the extended mags are pretty good as well. So anyways, that's pretty much all I have for today. Hoping the weapon's good, hoping, like, you know, the grind will be pretty simple. But yeah, this is gonna be one of the last guns that we work on before Warzone Mobile does come out, and then it's full on grinding from there. So anyways, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.